I officially announced I'm stepping down as the CEO. I'm done with Storyfire.
You do this and you remove yourself, I will take your chest.
Well, to have a relationship like you, have you in my life, I really can't express it enough, man. Like, you know I love you.
I my knee up, like pretty bad. I believe I tore my MCL.
Everyone just leaves. Everyone goes. What do you want me to say?
I have to go.
You can't go. I swear. You can't go. You can't go. Please.
I also want to thank any of you guys that watch the finance channel. You guys are awesome. Been putting out a few videos on there.
Oh, Jesus, Jen! What the heck is all that?
That's for helping us with the construction last year.
No, it's not.
Yeah, man.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it ain't.
Nah, dude. You've been killing it.
But I can't accept this. I really can't.
You just reject my offer.
Thank you, Dad, for all the opportunities you gave us.
Cheers.
Swift is no longer working for RiDGiD STUDiOS.
We're opening our hearts and souls back up to another tenant.
Run at you! I posted new videos on your channel, Swift! I come down here! You weren't even No! This one! That's fucked up!
I have no
My motivation is to make sure you guys know how to tell a good story.
You alive?
Hey! Oh! I'm gonna do 24 hours in this mirror room. Go! Whatever happens to mom and dad and whatever, like, it's me and you, dude.
That's right.
Ah! Happy birthday!
Hey, hell no.
No.
Blew everything up for me, man. I see you in one day after 3 years, and I gotta move to another state.
Come all this way just to die.
It's Jenny, man.
Guys, Gord is here. We're inviting you to move into the RiDGiD house.
Take care of my daughter. Thanks for the help.
Have you taken too many L's to where you just don't see it anymore?
Guys, it is Thanksgiving.
Thank you, man.
You didn't know me.
You didn't
know me 6 years ago.
Yes, I did.
No, you did not. Welcome to the McJuggerNuggets official Airbnb.
That gem belongs to you. Your soul is the devil.
Die every day. Be born again the next. Where's my freaking girlfriend?
Ow! What the hell, folks? Where are y'all saying? Come on! Please! Oh no! He knows me! Give me the book! I found this book! I found it by the lake!
Welcome back to present day, everyone. My name's Jesse Ridgway, and today we are sitting lakeside to view the majestic eagle in the deep. Also wanted to take a look back at how the year 2022, year the dragon went. And I can't lie, it's not been, it's been. That's right, guys, I am deck chair. No, I'm kidding. I'm sitting on the deck. I can't make jokes like that. 2022 in a nutshell has just kind of been meh. I mean, I can't lie. It may be one of those forgettable years, and in many ways, it's a transitional year. Maybe I should choose a different word than that. I really didn't feel like I put enough content out this year. However, when I look back and every time I watch the montage, I'm like, you know what? Actually, a lot went down. And so here we are, another year passed. These are my favorite videos, guys. We're going to look back at the year 2022 and talk about what's to come in the year 2023. These numbers are getting up there, man. It sounds like we are literally in the future. Let's see how we did on our goals and expectations for 2022.
The economy's stressed to all hell. They're raising interest rates this year. I think economically, it's gonna be a show.
Yes, we had an economic recession. How did I call this?
And who knows? We could be freaking going to war with China or starting some freaking war. just because economically that's usually what happens.
What the heck? Okay, I gotta stop being Nostradamus. I literally knew we'd be going to war. Even though it's Ukraine versus Russia, I mean, we've definitely been all up in that business, so I would count that as yes. On the macro, Jesse was right.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, we start to finally feel, like, really bad effects from this pandemic.
COVID has still been with us and continues to wreak havoc. We actually have more cases now than ever before. We're looking at 250,000 cases a day, 1,000 to 2,000 people dying. China's a freaking crap show right now with cases. And we're like 10, 20 variants deeper. So yeah, lovely. I think I was talking about people losing their minds. Yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of that this year.
I am pumped on StoryFire. Like I said, numbers are growing tremendously. New features coming out.
I was very hype about StoryFire. It's pretty crazy how much can change in 1 year. I am no longer affiliated with StoryFire. I was talking about Blaze Cash Out, and believe it or not, don't quote me on this. Like I said, I'm not running the show. Pretty sure you can cash out Blaze now. You'd have to look into the specifics, but I think you can cash out at least a percentage of your Blaze. I don't know, but I finally got delivered. Pretty crazy.
But I don't want to just make videos to make videos. I want them to be quality content.
I really did want to make more videos. Content output this year was abysmal. I cannot lie. Just in the last 3 months, we have not really come out with any video on the McJuggerNuggets channel. So my not so lofty goal of just beating the previous year's content output, I failed miserably. However, a lot still went down. We did have a handful of content come out on the channel, but we also had my second channel, Jesse Tyler RiDGiD, which you guys should subscribe to that. But we also had a lot of content come on Ashley May channel. I've been helping her, and we've done vlogs almost like every week for the last 6 months on there. Not to mention, I've been very active, daily posts on Facebook and TikTok, some even 2 a day. And with the random appearance on my dad, the Psycho Dad YouTube channel, which once again, yes, Psycho Dad's YouTube channel, you guys should check that out. And I feel like just a lot of real life things have happened outside of content. So it's been a busy year. Just maybe not as much as previous years like you guys used to on the McJuggerNuggets channel, but maybe that's gonna change.
I also want to get to my peak physical condition.
Peak physical condition, that was a big one. And guys, I was doing so good. Like, look at these pictures. I was right there. I was almost looking like Isaac, except a little bit more beefed up. And then, wouldn't you know it, I get sick 3 times this year, we're gonna talk about later. And I blew out my knee, which if you guys watched my sit down video where I turned 30 years old, shout out. Much love, Jesse in the 20s. I hope it was fun. It was. You're dealing with 30-year-old Jesse, and he's got ailments. I had every scan imaginable on my knee. It's another McJuggerNuggets medical mystery. But that was the main reason of no content over the last few months is I literally couldn't walk. I was laid up on my couch, sleeping on my couch, which I'll say it right here, right now. The knee is doing much better. I was able to walk 3 miles, which was it's definitely my highest point as of late. It was a painful 3 miles, but I got through it. So I think within the next month or so, the knee won't be as much of an issue. I think it'll still annoy me from time to time, but at least hopefully the worst is over.
Keeping my circle tight as anything.
Yes, please, amen, preach, Jesse, hallelujah. From years past, keep the circle tight 1,000%. This year was just another example of that. People are just bitter. I called it then, but it was like, there was nothing even I could do about it. Keep the circle tight, for Christ's sake.
I would like to travel a bit more.
Traveling, we did get some of that after I got COVID this year. Ashley and I said just F everything. We did a trip to Washington, D.C. Got to eat at a Michelin star restaurant for the first time. That was really cool. We went down to Florida because their parents moved, and also even got to experience a North Carolina trip this year. Although there wasn't really any content to be had, except for maybe a very freaky TikTok with Aunt Jackie meowing like a cat and me arm wrestling Miranda. At least it was nice to get some real life experiences in, get some traveling, despite it being hard to do so without getting sick over the years.
Want to finish the basement. That's first and foremost.
One of the main first objectives was to finish the RiDGiD House basement, and guys, for that first month of the year, we grinded. It was construction vlogs coming out on StoryFire, and we did it. It was like 2,000 square foot of basement. Looks fantastic. Good job, Jesse.
I still would like to sell something or work on a bigger traditional project.
And the last goal that we had to hit, I was talking about maybe the lofty goal. I think it was even the clickbait. It was MVE on Netflix, or just get something traditional in the pipeline. Yeah, that fell apart. My manager ghosted me, and really nothing's happened since like February of this year in regards to that. So that is unfortunate. We'll chalk that up as an L, but I feel like a lot of that is really out of my hands. I wish you could just waltz into Netflix and kick the door down and be like, hey, make this. Make this good. And so as you can see, just based off the goals, we've had some misses. We actually did have some successes. So really the year is kind of a wash. But what do you say, let's jump into the specifics of this year, and maybe you'll learn something. And really this is my own personal diary, just so I can remember when I have Alzheimer's or dementia in like 50 years, I can look back at these videos and remember at least for a second. Kind of like the Notebook, but this would be like the YouTube backlog, where I can remember, oh yes, 2022 was the year that nothing happened. No, stuff happened. happened? Let's talk about it. Year of the Dragon, as it was so aptly named, was really about Storyfire. And guys, talk about curveball in my life. Things were going good. I was the CEO. And unfortunately, Deck Chair and I ran into some disagreements. And one thing I realized was that I was not actually the owner of Storyfire. Deck Chair was. Although I was the CEO and I was given a stake in the company, really, it wasn't mine. And I learned that from Brian Spitz owning Storyfire as well. If I don't own it, if I'm not the boss man, the one running the show, it is not in my best interest. I'm basically feeding and putting all my work, time, energy, money, everything into this thing that's not even mine. Mistakes were made, guys. So I pulled out of Storyfire. At that point, I had to write everything off. I was like, I don't give a anymore. I'm tired of people me over and me just in these situations. I was like, you know what? After everything, and talk about, this was one of the hardest moments of my life. I had spent so much time, energy, resources on this platform after the shutdown and the drama with me and Brian and all this crap, and then having to do the NFT sale at Sun and next to nothing. And then all of 2021 was me fighting tooth and nail to finally get my baby back and to feel like I have a part in this thing. It felt like even once I had it and I became CEO of Storyfire in 2021, for this year, I was like, this is an illusion. I really don't have as much control over this as I had hoped. So I pulled back. So I pulled out, really. Pull out method there. And it worked. So the Year of Dragon really got completely messed up. And speaking candidly, it has been hard over this last year. I'm in such a better place now. But for such a long time, it was very hard to go from that lofty Storyfire alternative YouTube platform goal to then feeling like I'm taking 3 steps backwards and having to kind of take an L. It's been hard to recalibrate. A lot of regrets, you know, me beating myself up. But honestly, I feel like I'm on the other side of this thing. I feel a huge weight lift. I feel so much better, guys. But for those who are still on Storyfire, good for you. I know they're still rolling out updates and they're still doing great things. I'm still on there from time to time, just checking up and seeing what's going on. That'll probably be the last time I'm going to mention Storyfire at all. I'm very grateful and excited the fact that Storyfire will not have a part in these year in review videos anymore. This is it. This is the end of the fire. I didn't do a big elaborate video talking about when I stepped down as CEO and I left Storyfire. It was just kind of sudden, but I just felt like it was kind of already beat to death and it was already so confusing for everybody witnessing my story within this company. I was like, I've really got to move on from the. It's always anticlimactic with the way stuff goes in real life sometimes. And that's why it's great how The Devil Inside Season 4 ended this year. But we'll talk about that. So we kicked off this year strong. We had almost daily content of construction vlogs, us working on the RiDGiD house basement. And Ashley's dad was so crucial in this, as well as Ashley herself. We finished with a 3,000 square foot basement in like a month and a half's time. And this basement came out incredible. We've put a lot of those construction vlogs over on my second channel, Jesse Tyler Ridgeway. And we had a blast. I decked out this whole arcade thing, and you guys later see we got a whole blackjack set up, a really sick live streaming set. We got the full gym, we got the few bedrooms, a movie theater. Everything really came together with the house this year. Meanwhile, we got some pranks with Jeffrey. He was memeing on me because I'm like very sentimental about Psycho Series memorabilia. The deer head got involved. Roscoe, the puppet. Like, what is this? And we might have done some scandalous stuff with Jeffrey's engagement ring. Actually, had one of the hardest videos and one of the biggest videos of my life. In 2021, I was able to retire my mom, and it was really just a thank you for all the hard work she's put in, whether it was through videos, but just also it's your mom. like talk about a moment. But I was like, okay, now I want to retire my dad, which is massive because it's been Psycho Dad, and really like that is the thing that put me on the map. So, you know, my dad's put his on the line when it comes to videos, his government job, you name it, he's been there. So yeah, I gave him the GTO in 2020, but I'm like, yo, it's finally time. I saved up for a nice gift, and I wanted to retire my dad, genuinely, and I had it all figured out, and my dad wanted no parts. He rejected my offer. That was very hard to take. However, I would say the offer still stands. It doesn't just end. If at any point he's like ready to call it quits, he's like, yo, I'm bored, I'm tired of this, I want to do whatever, hit me up. We can make it happen. Hit him up on Twitter, guys. Be like, yo, take the offer. You get more content. What a nice gesture, though. And in response, you know, I forget the order of events, but my new arcade setup gets destroyed because people are bitter about ice cream parlors. I don't know what it was. Good old Psycho destruction. Gotta have some throughout the year. Now let's talk about MVE on Netflix. I hate saying this, but I spent like a lot of money to get this MVE Netflix trailer cut. I had Hollywood trailer editors cut this MVE thing, and we spent like maybe a month or two back and forth on making sure it was perfect. You know, we're trying trying to make a YouTube cult classic series look like something a bit more professional that could be pitched to any streaming platforms. So I gave it to my manager. I also released it here on YouTube. And we were this close to actually getting a platform greenlight a series for us, finance a series, and it was not going to be an MVE sequel, prequel. It was actually just going to be a spin-off series that was a bit more comedic. And we almost sealed the deal. This reminds me when I was trying to sell MVE the first time to Verizon. We came this close, multi-million-dollar budget, and then they shut down. Go90 shut down. And then Storyfire shut down where I premiered MVE. And then I'm trying to get this MVE spin-off series through the gate, and all of a sudden I still have no idea what happened. This was maybe February. So when we saw Solomon and Jesse Castillo in the prophecy video, I was on the phone with my manager. We were about to sell the thing. And then I never heard from him again. Ghosted. I haven't talked to him in like 9 months. That's the last thing that happened there. And then it got to this point where I realized there's been a running issue. And every time I've relied on other people, you get up. That's why I say you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. A lot of times in which I've hinged on others, I've been let down, my expectations were not met, and I'm like, okay, just do it yourself. So at this point I realized if I want to go traditional, it ain't gonna happen. Not without the good graces of other humans. I'm gonna talk about this at the end because it kind of applies to this year's goals. It just kind of died. And then I was like, okay, we're just not gonna do this anymore. God, it's freaking cold out, guys. It's so cold. Why do I do this? I need to find a new spot for this. It looks good though. Sun, stay up, please. Next was one of the highlights of this year, which was the finish of The Devil Inside Season 4. We got to witness the finale of what's been building up since 2019. That's when Devil Inside Season 4 started, with Spiritual Awakening and the DMT. And then we got 3 epic cinematic bangers with The Prophecy, The Hub, and The Devil Resides. We got to see some Illuminati stuff, Deck Chair Turns Crazy. We got the chest, we got the Second Chance Machine reset button from the game series, from my old content. We got to finally see the grand reveal of the Mirror Hub, which we created this entire mirror system, and we got to see Psycho Dad and the links to the Mafia from Psycho series, but then also Devil Inside Season 3 with Mobster Joe. Like, what the mind? Jenny's like an XP drug dog doing Solomon's bidding. Like, what the is going on? Jesse Castillo from the first Cameraman competition is apparently an Illuminati member. Bill Jensen from 2019 is also one of the hands to the Illuminati who's owned by Deck Chair, who owns Storyfire. Like, what the It all goes back to like the Halloween party and the freaking chest. Like, what is happening, guys? We got to see a full time loop time travel action where Jesse Tyler becomes and actually is the Mirror Man. Fan theories confirmed, like, all kinds of crazy, like, wow, we find out real Jesse potentially died in the mirror realm. Like, he's been dead there ever since, bro. Some crazy stuff, guys. I highly encourage you, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go watch these videos. Great MJN lore for the universe. And we got to see the devil again, and this dude is old and withered. He's sick, and he can't tell his stories anymore, and he's kind of burnt out. The devil's always been such a real part of me, and to get to play that out felt very cathartic. It really felt like full circle. You know, we got to see the devil back in the day when I was so grindy. I was just so hype and egotistical on content and pushing, you know, getting more views and more money and all this stuff. And then now to see this season 4 devil, and he's just kind of like, it's very anticlimactic, and he gets put down, and then you see this like internal struggle. The sad part is when I was making those, I was just in a very miserable headspace, and that's why you got to see the devil the way he is, and that's why I think it's poetic that it went out that way. The devil, who's so big and bad, goes out with a whimper. And I just remember feeling so burnt out filming these, but it was so nice that you guys got to enjoy some cinematic bangers. But I can't lie, I remember I was just not happy. I was just not passionate about the process, and it just felt like such a chore to get through, and it's sad that it felt like that. This was stuff that has been in my head for many years, and I used to feel like so excited and refreshed to get this out of my system, but now it just felt like I'm pulling from an empty well. It was like I'm running on a broken bone or a broken or torn muscle or something, and it was hell just to get through those 3 episodes. But I felt so good having completed it. Ashley and I were beating each other up. She was the Mirror Man and I was the devil, and I'll never forget that night. It was just like rain, pouring down rain. I'll still give props to Swift for shooting that video. It's definitely a fantastic video, and I appreciate shooting that. It was cold, rainy, and we were throwing punches, doing like 10+ takes, and we also had the flu. We had the flu. It was a really iconic finish, and I appreciate you guys, all the support on those videos. And And it's great that we got to see another poster to fill the wall. I love these things. Good job, Kobe. A year is good when we get a new poster. That means something happened. So I want to talk about this sickness, right? So Ashley's brother got married, and this was like a huge gathering of people. I mean, it's a wedding, right? 100+ people, and Ashley and I get this nasty flu. We're sick for like a week or so, and it took us out, man. We were done, and we thought it was over. I maybe had like a couple weeks where I was okay-ish, and then we have a celebration of life off camera for my grandmom who passed in 2021. And what do you know it? I get COVID too. For the whole like 2 years that I've skated by, I finally get COVID-19, and it was miserable. Some people are like, oh, it was not bad. It was sniffles, bull. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It affects everyone differently. My uncle died of this. The people about COVID pissed me the off. Take it pretty seriously, because for me, I was sick for 3 weeks. I couldn't move. I was so fatigued. I remember trying to lift the camera, couldn't even lift it. I could maybe pick it up for 15 seconds. A huge weight in my shoulders and my arms, headaches, like these weird spikes and it was nasty. And honestly, that was in the middle of this year. For the last 6 months, I felt not the best. And then it was maybe a month or so later, my knee up, then I get this nasty bout of food poisoning. I end up, you could see my ribs afterwards. I lost like 5 pounds. It was probably I've got food poisoning a bunch of times, but this was one of the nastiest. And so getting sick that many times in a year, especially with COVID, like we still don't fully understand the it's showing that you could have long COVID or lingering symptoms for up to 7 months after you have the virus. I'm very healthy, and you guys know that. I've had these weird like heart palpitations since the middle of this year, and it's completely bizarre, very uncomfortable. We've been mostly chilling. I've been rehabbing my knee, but the COVID things have been still a serious issue, and I am afraid that we could get some more nasty variants. And if you notice with the flu, RSV, people's immune systems are and we just keep getting sick. My mom's had COVID multiple times. She's had it 3 times so far. It's just not good. And it's hard to really be doing content or really be doing much of anything if your health's compromised and you're feeling sick all the time. So that's been a big deterrent, right? So back to content, we had a sit-down video. This was like the 8th time I feel like we've done this, where Swift and I had parted ways. Swift was leaving RiDGiD STUDiOS. Swift was working as my camera person for at least a handful of months at the end of 2021. It just was not working out. So we parted ways. That means, McJuggerNuggets is left without a camera person once again. But that didn't stop us. That means Jesse went vlog mode. We had one of us deconstructing the mirror room. And then also where my mom's A&J Canvas company and Uncle Larry's and Aunt Jackie's finally shut down. So I had paid off that debt in 2020. And then it's taken a bit of time for them to actually close down the business. Well, that time had finally come. We filmed that. It was a very emotional video for all of them, including myself. A lot of memories there. This was one of those videos we'll look back on and be like, wow, it's very powerful. My pop-up ran this business and kind of indoctrinated all of them into it. A lot of emotional ties. Like my mom had a great video on her channel talking about shutting it down. It was a pretty big deal. So now the merch, the Juggy store is consolidated into my parents' house. Actually, my old bedroom, Psycho Kid's old bedroom. I shared the real story of how I got Jenny. Yes, it wasn't through a mirror. Longtime fan, Brandy, and friend. We actually met up with Brandy in a park. It was a really cute story. It was surprising Ashley with Jenny, and I'm glad I got to share that story with you guys. That was old footage from 2020 that just came out this year. And finally, after what, like 5 years, I put the Psycho Family documentary on my YouTube channel for free in the highest definition possible. So for anyone that wants to go relive the magic of Psycho series in an hour-and-a-half format or watch the movie version of Psycho, watch Psycho Family. That is available on YouTube for free. Finally, I hate that it took that long for it to happen, but it's there. So that brings us back to the cameraman situation. Piggybacking off of that, keeping the circle tight, I'm like, you know who's always been there? Jeffrey. Jeffrey's iconic, and he hasn't made any videos in a while. We're so funny together. We've done incredible work with, he's shot a lot of the original Psycho videos, especially Psycho Kid Kills Father and Psycho Kid Flees Country, the 2 finishes. And a lot of my favorite Psycho videos, Jeffrey ended up shooting. And he's my own brother. Like, I could trust this dude. Like, it brings the family closer together. I'm like, let me hire this dude as the cameraman. He's like the perfect person for the job. He's tried to do his own channel. I'm like, it needs to be us working together on the main. That's always what worked. And so I offered Jeffrey a 6-figure salary to come work with his little bro. And just like my dad rejecting my retirement, Jeffrey rejected me. He hard passed. I made a little boo-boo. I should have never, I turned it into a little bit of a narrative where I'm like, okay, let's instead have Jeffrey say yes, and you'll still be the cameraman, but just for videos. But I got to this point where I'm like, this is just, we're just lying to ourselves at this point. I don't even want to get invested into this arc because it's not real, and it kind of hurts that it's not real, because it's like me and Jeffrey are going to build up this momentum as he supposedly works for me, but he actually said no. So I ended up just coming out with it, and I'm like, guys, and and Jeffrey's schedule was not permitting him to be even the pretend full-time cameraman. So I was just like, guys, he hard passed on me. It fortunately worked out for him because he ended up getting a nice promotion at his job, which I think ended up paying more than what I was going to pay him. But I was hoping the freedom and all this other aspects and wanting to work together, because I love the freedom of this job, and I love the ability to be creative and go anywhere and do whatever. I just felt like it would be such a breath of fresh air for both of us. Fortunately passed. I tried convincing him for like 40 minutes, but so then I'm like, okay, why is it such a hard job? Why is it so hard to fill the MJ and cameraman job when it's like literally the dream job? I have no idea. Maybe somebody out there is like, yo, Jess, 2023, let's go. That led us to do another cameraman competition. Nobody checked all the boxes that I was looking for. A lot of young people, a lot of inexperienced people. It just was never a fit. It never felt right. I did end up hiring Angel as a second editor from that cameraman competition. We did that for a few months, although we just parted ways maybe a few weeks ago. It just wasn't working out. However, Dom has been crushing it. Shout out to Dom who cut this montage. Dom has been the main editor for this year and will be for most of 2023. One of the hardest things this year was Ashley and her parents. We had a series of videos over the summer where Ashley's parents, who were living in the PA house up here and in the RiDGiD house, and Wayne was helping us with construction and everything, they officially moved down to Florida, which was a very big move. And Ashley did have that choice of whether to go down to Florida and leave me or stay here with me. And her family's gone. And so we filmed a bunch of videos about that whole thing. She ended up going down. I ended up having to win her back. And then I also helped out with the construction at their new house in Florida. And it was an emotional time, emotional few videos. And it definitely sucked not having Wayne and Shelly in content. We also had them in a lot of our blackjack streams, which were a lot of fun. We've done a handful of these where I give away $1,000 per game. I wanted to up the ante, but my knee everything up. But yeah, that was a very tough part of this year. And then they got hit with a freaking Hurricane Ian, which like killed a bunch of people, displaced a lot of homes, caused so much damage to Florida, and it literally was exactly where they just moved to. So I don't know if that's like bad juju or what. Fortunately, they were okay. Their house was okay, but pretty scary stuff. Our time in Florida, though, was eventful because we did get to run into Dom, who was like doing DoorDash or Uber Eats down there, and we kind of came to blows. Ain't seen him in years. And speaking of which, we also saw Korn. I haven't seen Korn in years, and we ran into him at the Universal Studio spot, the same place where Ashley got introduced into the MJN universe. Crazy full circle moment. Two of my favorite videos this year were such a long time coming, and that is giving my brother and giving Uncle Larry $50,000 each in cash in a cool little Deal or No Deal briefcase. I was so nervous. After Jeffrey rejected my offer, I'm like, you know what? It's whatever. It was my way of trying to give back to Jeffrey, like hook him up with this dream job. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm like, F it. If he doesn't want it, I'm just gonna give it to him. Me and Ashley surprised Jeffrey with this case of money. He had no idea what was going on. And then we did the same thing with Uncle Larry. Now, I've given back to a bunch of different people in my life. However, I felt like Uncle Larry and Jeffrey have done so much over the years, definitely cornerstones to the McJuggerNuggets channel. And yes, they've had their own channels, but I just felt like they were owed something. I do feel bad sometimes where I ask people to be in videos and we film and then whatever, and I just feel like it's like I get this awesome content, it does well, and then I don't get to share in what has happened. Like, they don't work for me. It's weird just giving money, but I'm like, no, it's not weird. As long as the other people don't make it weird, I want to give back to the people who were there. What a special moment. I'll always cherish these two videos and both of them, and I hope they're able to go back and rewatch it and understand just how much their help has meant to me over the years. I don't think I could overstate how much they've changed my life, so I was hoping I could do something that would at least change their life for the better in some capacity. And I think it has. I don't see how it wouldn't. Another great highlight of this year is we got a new tenant to the RiDGiD house. I opened the RiDGiD house up. Part of that cameraman competition was say, hey, whoever's coming out, if you want to move into the house too, let's do it. Unfortunately, nobody met the qualifications. Yeags moved into the RiDGiD house, and Yeags has been fantastic. Yeags has been living with us for a few months now. He's been crushing it on content, and it's great to have somebody young who's got that fire, you know, putting that boots on the ground. So it's definitely been inspiring for me to watch him do his thing. But it's been great just to have somebody bounce stuff off of. He's been a fantastic tenant. I'm excited for Yeags to be living at the RiDGiD house for most of 2023. It's been great to bro out, watch some movies in the theater, work on some stuff together, and I think we're really going to start to see that in the coming months. It wasn't just Yeags though. For a bit of time, he had his friend Nathan come out. I found him buried in the dirt. He was like digging through from China, and then all of a sudden, like he was playing Xbox. My dad broke that. And then he started spouting off in Chinese or something, and it was like, we needed subtitles on that. So if someone was a subtitle of that, I don't know what kind of up stuff he just said to my dad in there, but honestly, it was probably deserved. Unfortunately, Nathan did not move into the RiDGiD house. He went back to LA or maybe dug back through, I don't know. But it was great having him visit. Believe it or not, that was the year. Over the last 2 months, not too much has happened on this channel, once again, because of my knee. Also, I don't have a camera person. However, if you guys have not tuned in, Ashley May's channel, we've been cranking out hella vlogs. You got to see us start the McJuggerNuggets Airbnb. That's right. I started this Airbnb business at the lake house. You guys can stay at the house where I'm at. Like, it's crazy. I might not be here all the time, but you know what I'm saying. You guys can film it. I don't care. Like, hit me up in the messages on Airbnb, find the listing. You can rent out our guest house, and it's been churning out great revenue. It's been a great side hustle for me. I'm excited to be continuing that into the new year, and maybe there's more Airbnb to be had. I don't know. You also got to see our Thanksgiving and Christmas stuff. All kinds of extra activities, our real life, you got to see on the Ashley May channel. So if you're not subscribed to her, definitely check her out and catch up with everything that you probably missed. Also, on my second channel, guys, Jesse Tyler Ridgway, I put out a bunch of videos. Had a great video talking about the finances behind the graphic novel and how to make your own. I've talked about my 5 steps and secrets on how to tell good stories, which is like, that video is a banger. Please check that out. And a lot of videos on Airbnb, my thoughts on the markets right now, even some behind the scenes of giving my family the 50K. A lot of great stuff over there. If you're not subscribed, you're going to want to, especially with what I have to announce. Some other side notes about this year, the TikTok's about to almost hit 1 million followers. Make sure you follow me on that at Just Tyler Ridgway. Shorts have been popping off, guys. You guys have been crushing it. We did create a whole shorts channel. However, on the McJuggerNuggets channel, you'll see we have had some shorts now coming out, and that'll keep going. And the Facebook page has been crushing it, guys. Like, the Facebook's been better than YouTube in certain aspects. And it's gained like 100, 200K followers in this past year. So both of those platforms, thank you. Like, it's been fantastic. Also with the live streams I've been doing on both of those. If you guys been missing them, you guys are missing out. I've done a couple exclusive live streams on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook that you guys might have missed. So make sure you follow me on all of them. So that's like the specifics of 2022. I just want to speak candidly for a second. It was not my favorite year by any stretch of the imagination. There was a couple other bad instances this year, not only with the getting sick and the knee stuff, but my social media addiction has been pretty bad. Like, we're talking very high screen time, and it's been going on since the pandemic started. Luckily, just in the last few months, I've done such a great job at curbing that. I barely spend much time on my phone anymore, which is like pretty crazy, but very refreshing. I feel my brain clearing up. And then also my sleep's been just all over the place. My diet's maybe not been the best, but hell, just within the last month or so, I feel like I've gotten great clarity. I've been just chilling, and I think you can maybe even tell by looking at me and how I'm talking right now, maybe I seem a bit healthier. Look at how I look now compared to last year and the year before. I think I'm in a much better spot. However, I was trying to put in a bad spot. I got to do this year justice, but a bunch of people tried to cancel me over some bull. Just bitter people. I don't want to talk much about it, but it just pissed me off, and I want to make sure that like that just gets mentioned, because it's pretty nasty when people try to attack your character when I've done nothing but good to a bunch of people. So it just sucks. Especially if we just roll back last year. I'm wishing all these people good luck and nothing but the best and all that, and I genuinely meant it. Unfortunately, you don't always get what you give. I have a handful of people who I thought were like my friends try to take down and kill my reputation that I've tried to work and build up for many, many years. Sucked. And for those of you guys who have no idea what I'm talking about, that's probably for the best, because this is a bunch of bull. But to be honest, I'm glad it happened. I hope everyone got out of their system. No more bull. No more drama over this next year. I have no interest in being friends with a lot of people I used to be friends with. I really have no interest in collaborations or anything to that nature. I do genuinely wish these people nothing but the best, and I hope they are able to exercise their demons in a healthier way and not come at other people. Me. I can't be the poster child for everyone's. I do hope these people can reconcile whatever's going on, and they can all bounce back, and we owe that to ourselves. I'm just not going to be in that picture for y'all. Once again, it's a firm lesson, just, hey, keep the circle tight and mind your own business. However, some people just don't work like that. But I'm looking to this year for no shenanigans. I've come a long way, to be honest, guys. I was such a nice guy, always have been. I try my hardest to do the best in people. That's kind of how I was raised. I would do that so well that I would just kind of bite my tongue and let stuff build up, kind of like Psycho Kid. I'm not saying I would shoot people, but then all of a sudden it'd come out in a not so good way or whatever. However, I'd say over the last couple of years, once I get a taste that people are trying to take advantage of me and they're not showing me the respect that I deserve, and I just feel like the energy is reciprocated or it's a little weird, something ain't right, I used to just take it. Now I don't put up with any bull. So I'm gonna put people in their place. They try to come at me. Things try to happen. I really don't give a anymore. I think just as you get older, your patience just starts to not exist anymore. And that's honestly, it's pretty exciting. It feels pretty good. I love nice Jesse back in the day, and I'm still very nice, but like, yeah, I don't give as much slack as I used to. And with this oh my God, it's an actual bald eagle. He just landed. Eagles land. Wow, that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. So my metamorphosis, my evolution as a person, as a creator. Let's finally get into 2023. Drum roll, please. The year of the radioactive butterfly. That's right. You guys are like, what the? So normally I keep my years kind of in secret, but I'll tell you straight up why it's called that is the ripple effect is crazy, my friends. Just a little old virus in end of 2019 in China caused such a ripple effect, and now it's killed millions of people. I think we underestimate the butterfly effect, just how the flap of the wings can cause a rift across the world. How just the littlest of people or the littlest of choices, a little decision can cause change across a whole spectrum. It's radioactive because for whatever reason, I feel like it's going to be a very weird year. I feel like 2023 is going to be very volatile. I would not be surprised if finally the nuke card does get played with Russia and Ukraine. I do think economically it's still going to be in and we will be in somewhat of a depression. And I think COVID is going to keep running rampant, and we probably will get a new variant. And we just got to hope and pray that it's not the lethal one, because we're letting our biggest adversary, our biggest threat to humanity, one of, is viruses and bacteria, and we're just letting it procreate and take host within us, and we're just playing with fire. Like, let's just let it have fun. Let's just let it take over everything, and then, oh wait, every year we've got new variants, and they keep becoming more immune evasive. And I don't know, the hubris, like the ego and narcissism of the human and the greed of the American people, I would not be surprised if we lose another few million people. But anyway, that's all that, guys. We're not here to play Nostradamus. That's my overview of. I do think there will be some dark patches this year for me personally. I'm always leery of family stuff. Maybe I don't like putting bad stuff out there, but my expectations are very low. And that's what this is about, right? Being strategic. I just feel like it's going to be similar to this year. I just think things are going to get a little funky. There's going to be some good. There's going to be some bad. There's just going to be just weird. It's funny. I remember off camera, Wayne and I were talking when I filmed the sit down video for the last year. And we were talking about Russia, and we called it Russia. The war started. I just think when things get tight, money gets tight, disease going around, things get kind of dark, usually breaks. People get stressed too much. It's like a tea kettle, and I feel like we've had the tea kettle, like it's warming up. As optimistic as I want to be this year, let's just be honest with ourselves. It hasn't been sunshine and roses for a bit now. I don't think that's going away anytime soon, but hopefully maybe there might be some light throughout this year, and that's what matters, is that no matter how dark it gets, we just try to focus on those little glimmers of light without being fully delusional and in denial that bad stuff's happening. Anyway, enough doomsday prophesizing. Let's talk about the YouTube channel. So we're gonna have shorts coming out all the time. Some of the greatest moments of the McJuggerNuggets history are coming out for your viewing pleasure. Just a way to grow the channel, and also have something coming out. Facebook and TikTok, we will hit that million on TikTok, guys, probably within the first couple months of the year. Facebook, I want to grow that to 1 million by the end of the year. I think we got that in the bag. Reels and the videos have been crushing it on there. But what about new content, guys? So I want to factor that uncertainty into my plans. And to be honest, my plans, I don't really have any. I have a couple like loose series that I've written. However, I'm torn between the AJR song going, do I go for more clicks this year, or do I follow the click in my ear? They're two different things. One is a bit edgier, darker. It probably won't get pushed on YouTube, but it might be fun to shoot. The other one's lighter, and I'll get a lot more views, and then maybe that is the smarter thing, just because we do want more eyeballs on the channel. We shall see. I'm staying open-minded. I definitely want to do more blackjack streams. We put a lot of money down in that setup. We do have a lot of fun with those. Once again, kind of like COVID dependent on doing big group shoots, and that's how the content is as well. Not to mention, I still need that MJ and cameraman. If it's you, hit me up. I am looking for a ringer, somebody who's like really smart, creative, knows my channel well, can work with me, wants to work with me, can relocate to the area. Hit me up. Make sure you're legit though. I have some ideas in mind. Somebody reached out. Maybe they're a thing, maybe they're not, I don't know. But I am gonna need a cameraman if we're really gonna start making some content. Ashley's still planning on vlogs. I can't speak for her fully, but she's still still gonna be vlogging. She also got these baking streams, which I appear in, and I'll be helping her with those, so still look forward to those things. This, I can promise you guys, there will be more content on my second channel, Just Tyler Ridgway. Unfortunately, the way YouTube has been the last few years, it is really geared towards like having bangers and bangers only, and long form, like longer vlog style, regular vlogs, like will kind of effectively kill the viewership momentum of the channel. So all my vlogs, maybe ones that you used to see on this channel, will be on that channel. And what you will see on the McJuggerNuggets channel will be a video that will be designed that's a lot tighter, that's made with retention, all that in mind, just to kind of placate the current system. You might get some cinematic videos this year. You might get some real life videos this year. It's gonna be kind of a whole potluck of whatever's happening. And with that, I wanna say this as to why I'm making this decision. I wanna love what I'm doing again. Storyfire sucked a lot of life out of me. It became very corporate, and I was just pushing people, part ones, part twos. And then also I've done a lot of videos that I just feel obligated, oh, I gotta put something out, or I gotta put a video out, or I gotta do this, or the audience is begging for this. And I feel like I'm not being as authentic with the content that I'm shooting, and I'm also not as excited to shoot it, and that can translate through the camera. I was excited for this one, you can probably tell. I'm always excited for these. I am only gonna shoot videos that I'm excited to shoot. That should be good news to you guys, to where I'm not gonna make these audacious claims of being like, oh, I only made 26 videos this year? That's nothing. I only made 50 videos this year. No, guys, I don't care about how many videos I make. That was a mistake. I never should have put that pressure. I never should have made it like that. I can tell you this though, the videos that I make, I'm gonna wanna make, and I'm gonna make them good. I'll make them entertaining for both of us. And I ain't gonna force stuff just to hit a number, because that sounds ridiculous. Oh, I hit my quota for 30 videos. Like, nah, man. That's not what it's always been about for me. And as I'm getting older, I'm like, yo, I ain't doing something I don't wanna do. And I think the more I follow my heart this year, still wanna get some views, of course. And I will hit that final form of the butterfly, no longer being in my little cocoon, even though freezing and I gotta keep warm. I feel like I'm getting there. I'm getting to where I want to be, and that's listening to my heart, listening to my gut more, and not just going through the motions or putting up with stuff. I feel like I've never had a more level head. It's weird. It's weird. With all that being said, I feel like I do know myself better enough now to know that traditional, no, not doing it. Now, if an opportunity ever presented itself from Netflix or these streaming platforms or some traditional broadcast stuff, whatever, I'm gonna be all ears, always. However, I'm not gonna go out of my way to pursue that stuff, whereas years past, I'm like, yeah, the movie, I'm making a movie, or the Netflix stuff, guys. I hate to say it, I don't want to say that medium's dead. It's not, it's thriving. But the way in which to access it has always kind of been dead. There's so much red tape, and it's so hard. You got to get other people's approval for your series, your content to get made. I know other creators that were aspiring filmmakers or TV series writers, you name it. They went out to Hollywood, even though they had a successful channel, and they lost, they failed. Whereas if they just focused on their channel and their distribution to the people that they have, they would have been a lot more successful. To where, yes, it was still always a dream and aspiration of mine to do that stuff, but the game has been changing, and I've known that. And really, you guys are all waiting right here for me to make some stuff that you know and love, and I love you guys for that. I think I think my problem over the years is I'm trying to do too many things at once, and I just need to focus on the bread and butter, which has been this channel, and been making content for you guys. It's been our connection, and that's really what I want to get better this year. Hollywood, Netflix, all that stuff. Would it be cool? Yes, but guys, I will probably waste years of my life trying to get something pushed through when I could make it on my very own, and I could make it for free for you guys. You don't have to wait because, oh, and also I can't say anything because I signed 10 contracts and 10 NDAs and I can't even be myself anymore. I'm like a corporate machine. Yeah, that BS. I'm always gonna give it to you straight, guys. I feel like McJuggerNuggets has returned. I know I clickbaited saying McJuggerNuggets goes missing this year. I'm not going missing. Could there be a period where there's not a video on this channel? Yes. Will it be on my second channel? Will it be a stream? Yeah, probably. I'll still always be in touch with you guys. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not dropping off the face of the earth. I've actually never felt better. So don't worry about me like randomly going to LA and it's like, no. If we're gonna make a movie or anything, we're gonna do it here and you guys will know about it. Everyone else. Also wanted to note that Jeffrey is getting married this year, so that's a big life moment happening. Will Jeffrey be documenting it, filming it, mention anything about it publicly? There might be like a rogue Instagram photo or something. Will he film it? Probably not. Will he let me film it? I don't know. I think that would be fantastic. Document the whole event, the memories. I'm sure we'll have a professional filming it, whatever, but get the McJuggerNuggets vlog version, the real deal. I haven't asked him if I could film it, but I am the co-best man after all. Maybe he'll be down. I hope so. And I would love to get that out for you guys. Last but not least, I will get to my peak physical health this year. I swear to you. I swear. Look me in the eyes. I am not bull. you. I swear. I'm eating bird food right now, guys. I'm eating what the eagles eat, and I feel great. I'm eating radioactive butterflies. I feel really good. I've been dropping pounds. I've been working out, rehabbing my knee. I've been focused, baby. I will look good, especially, forgot to mention, we got the RiDGiD pool this year. That RiDGiD pool came out fantastic. That's going to be a big part of spring and summer because that heated, so I'm opening that in March. That's gonna be good. I'm about to be looking my best, feeling my best, and that way, once I'm in that headspace, then I'm down to be filming, doing whatever. You guys will probably see me on the Psycho Dad channel, maybe some Larry's Lounge stuff, you know, Ashley. I'll be on all the channels. I'll be around. I'll be here. I ain't going anywhere, guys. And my final goal, there's always so much pressure on this, on the ending here. Guys, I love you. I love you guys. I really do. And even in times in which I'm so gosh dang depressed, or I'm like feeling sorry for myself, which is silly, right? You'd think I'd be like high on life. Your life is so great, Jesse. And I feel like it's easy to think of YouTubers as like, I don't know, they got it all together or whatever, right? I want to be like so-and-so. It is a lot. We can always be our own worst enemy. And I know I gave myself a message in the end of the last one, and I like to do this, but my main goal this year is to maintain how I feel right now, honestly. I really don't want to get sick. I do not want to get COVID again. It really took a lot of life out of me. Like I said, I was done for a few weeks, and getting sick so many times, man. Still processing Uncle Chris passed and my grandmom, two very important people to me. And one thing that keeps becoming clear is that like we really don't know. We don't know what the future holds. And as much as I like to put these claims out there at the beginning of every year of how it's going to be or how I want it to go. What the f is that sound? Bro, I might have to dip out real quick. Yo, you imagine you watch me fight a hyena at the end of this? All right, anyhow. Exactly my point. You have no idea what's gonna happen, but I really want to focus in on the present and what I have at this time. I want to keep my social media addiction in check, keep my sleep good, diet, exercise, all that good stuff, and then slowly get content back in the game. But I really don't want to get sick, and I just want to be happy, man. That's all it comes down to. And whether that's making videos and making you guys happy, entertaining you, which I know does factor into my happiness, I want to get back to a schedule or some level of consistency that is healthy. I don't want to be grinding my face off doing 2-a-days or dailies unless it feels right. I can't even say like I couldn't do that anymore. I just wanted to be able to have a healthy relationship with YouTube and content again. And I really miss how deep our connection used to be. And I think that's why I always end up stretching these videos out so much, because it's just so refreshing to talk to you guys. And let me know in the comments below if you want me to talk more genuinely like this. It's not going to happen on the main channel because the views will suffer, but I'll do it on the second channel, right? I cannot thank you guys enough. I feel like a lot of this last month or so here in PA, I just have the utmost gratitude for you guys. Seriously, you hear a lot of YouTubers just say it out of bull or whatever. I'll be brought to tears half the time just sitting out here by the lake, and I'm like, I swear to God, I had my brain injury years ago, and I slipped into this alternate timeline where started working out. And as much as things have gotten a little sus the last couple years, I still can't deny the fact that you guys are still here, man. And you guys really have changed my life forever. I don't want that to end, man. I don't want that to end. I don't want our connection ever to suffer just because I get burnt out sometimes. And maybe I just got to change the way I'm going about it so we can still maintain a connection. But I hate disappearing for a bit, you know? I might have hypothermia. But I want to conclude with this message, guys. Please, 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 please take my advice. And it's advice for myself as well. Stop being oh man, stop being mean to yourself. Why? Why do you do it? Why do you keep doing that? Why do you think so little of yourself? You gotta fix that. You gotta reconcile that in your mind. Instead of beating yourself up, so you should be your biggest supporter. You should be your biggest fan. And that doesn't mean coming at with an ego or insecurity or whatever, but just genuinely know that you are a good person and you have good intentions and good character. Whether you're taking it out on yourself, you're taking it out on other people, just know the past is the past. We all make mistakes. Nobody is perfect. And I think you compare yourself so much to all these other people and these things, and people have said you're this and you're that, and you're none of these things. You're a blank slate. And start to carve and create the person you want to be and the person you know you are, the potential that exists within you. We all have it. And I think when we get out of our own way and we stop torturing ourselves so much with, you name it, insert blank here for whoever is listening, just shut it all up, man. Do whatever you got to do, you know? Just take a moment. Get off your phone. Be at peace for a second. Think about what you do have and take solace in that. Be grateful for what you have. Because, man, can always be a lot worse. And try to be happy in your current situation. Because a lot of people, I think, oh, if I had this, I'll be a lot happier. If I had their life, oh, I'd be great. I wouldn't have no problems. Guys, everyone's got You might not hear it that much, and I think that's been an issue, but I'll tell it to you straight. Everyone's fighting the same demons you are. We're all battling ourselves. And how about you team up with yourself instead? Start to change the narrative in your mind. You're better than you give yourself credit for, and you have everything you need right now. Because trust me, once you get this or that, or you know, you get the big house, or you get all the money, or you get the girl, or you get the job, or you get the car, or you get the or oh, you're a famous YouTuber, or oh, you got 10,000 followers, now I want 100,000. It'll never be enough. And you think you'll be happy at that milestone, but you won't be because you're not happy at this one. The change starts with how you treat the present right now. Love you all. Thank you seriously for everything. Cheers, 2022. And what do you say? Let's be a radioactive butterfly going into 2023 and through the whole year for the rest of our lives. Always be here if you need me. Leave me some deep, heartfelt comments below, or don't. Drop some likes on the video. And thank God I got a new winter jacket and it doesn't look like that Psycho Series one. Anyway, guys, my toes and hands are freezing and my ears about to fall off. Keep it frigid, and I'll see you in the new year. I feel like I'm gonna blink and it'll already be 2024.